What are accounting conferences like? What are the benefits of attending conferences? Are there any downsides to conferences? Who are accounting conferences for? What conferences should you attend? Let's answer all those questions in this video. This is how I imagine what people think of accounting conferences are like to those who have never been to one. Picture this, you're 42, you finally left the fluorescent light dungeon you've been maladaptively breathing in for the better part of 4 straight months. It's finally summer, you're finally liberated from the mountains of Shein packages at your doorstep. Now that your oldest daughter is in college, you figured now's a good time to take a break. And boom, you chose the American Accounting Conference of America in a city with bustling views and exotic wildlife. The city? Vegas or Chicago? The wildlife? Gamblers and Chicago Bears fans. You're in a sea of lanyard wearers in a massive convention center. One man casually approaches and asks, "Has your firm adopted AI?" To which you reply, "I'm sorry, sir, I'm not interested in Zoroastrianism," as you sip your unlimited refill boba tea. There's one true thing about that. Unlimited boba tea. Before I started my firm, I used to think of accounting conferences as a place where partners and senior staff go to earn their CPE. And maybe, just maybe, network with the mystical beings known as industry leaders. I guess as an employee, I was shielded from knowing about them. I wasn't really on LinkedIn or X at the time to see other professionals talk about them. Like, I was completely oblivious to what happened at conferences. And while there are conferences that are just for CPE, there's actually a whole other side to them. You go for the continental breakfast and you get chatted up by super friendly software vendors. I know someone's tax director out there definitely developed a crush on a young ADP account manager. And then there's the exhibit hall where someone hands you a stress ball with some company's logo on it, and you just gotta sit there and chuckle, wondering if they're being too on the nose. Yes, accounting conferences are 70% lectures, 20% people you exchange LinkedIn connections with, and 10% getting your money's worth at the all-you-can-eat buffet. Again, I'm joking. Kinda. There is a vibe you pick up on when it comes to the exhibit hall, and it carries over from one conference to the next. But that's only if you NPC your way through conferences. Never be an NPC at accounting conferences. You can only be an NPC when you've completely checked out of trying and are about to retire, but you're paying to be somewhere around other professionals who are just happy to not be on hold with the IRS, being subjected to their hold music for hours. You have access to software vendors, and the guest speakers must be there for a reason. Not to sound Machiavellian, but you should probably get your money's worth out of it. There's one person who I consider to be the ultimate conference attender. Chad Davis. Chad Davis is the type of guy who follows you into a revolving door and somehow comes out first. He will literally rizz up every vendor, take all their swag, and then ask them to pay for a steak dinner later that night. That literally happened at AICPA Engage one year when Chad took me under his wing and showed me how to do conferences.
I thank you. This was a fun experience.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun for me too.
And I'm sorry I can't work with you because I'm Canadian.
I've been to AICPA Engage, Intuit Connect, the Tax Retreat, aka Tax Twitter Retreat, Western CP's New Money Summit, RightWorks Right Now, and NATP Taxposium. Given the timing of these conferences being so close together, you could say summer and fall is when I've engaged, connected, and retreated, some would say. That seems like a lot, but there's also a lot more that I've never been to and would like to attend one day, like Bridging the Gap, Scaling New Heights, AICPA Digital CPA, Thomson Reuters Synergy, Thomson Reuters Partner Summit, Thrival Deeper Weekend, ZeroCon, Financial Sense Workflow Con, and Reframe, to name a few. Speaking of Financial Sense, this November, Financial Sense is hosting Workflow Con 2025, their free annual virtual conference to help firm leaders build smoother systems and teams. You can register for that and start your free 14-day trial using my link below with code RCQS5E to save 10% on the team and scale plan. If your firm still runs on 5 different tools, there's an easier way. Financial Sense brings your workflows, clients, and team together in one simple platform You can automate recurring tasks, assign work to your staff, and track every deadline all in one place. Your whole firm and clients will actually love. There's so many conferences that it could be your full-time job to attend every conference, and some of these attract a different group of attendees. As you could guess, the Tax Twitter Retreat features people from Tax Twitter, which is probably different than the crowd you'd see at, say, the Thomson Reuters conference. But there are real benefits. Networking. I get to meet some of you guys. Honestly, cool people building firms just like mine. We held a counter-only photo op at the tax retreat, and there was a good showing for a 300-member, relatively US-based community. In fact, the first time I met Jason was at an accounting conference. Motivation. I'll leave conferences pumped about running my firm. I get cool ideas, hear others are running their firms. When you're around people who love the industry, it just makes you happy to be a part of it. Vendors. You can meet your account managers for the software you use, and you can learn about cool tools. Financial Sense always goes above and beyond with their booths. They're nuts. They give away so much free stuff, it's crazy. Are there any downsides to conferences? Missing work? That's such an accounting firm owner thing to say. Lack of free time. Conferences can go from 7 in the morning to 5 in the evening, leaving you with not much time to explore the area you're in or hang out with people. Maybe a compromise is that you could start the conference later in the morning. You could also stay extra days outside the conference, but that can be hard to do if you have a young family back home that wants you back. Gyms. Some hotel gyms can be rough if you're a creatine accountant junkie like me. Who are accounting conferences for? Well, that honestly depends on which you're attending. Some conferences like PASBA are primarily open for just PASBA members, so some of these are member specific versus others are open to any and all professionals. Hey, maybe one day there could be a counter conference. CounterCon. Maybe we should work on that name a little bit. Kind of sounds like the name of a counter-revolutionary insurgent group. I think from a high level, conferences are great for a pseudo vacation or if you need them to learn more technical skills. Tax conferences like NATP Taxposium and Tax Forums are technical heavy and great for learning how to be a better tax accountant. Are conferences for employees? Generally, I feel like the overall vibe of conferences, whether it's the software vendors or the people you network with, leads me to believe it's for decision makers at a firm. But specific lectures or talks could be perfect for anyone regardless if you're an employee or a firm owner. Some firms send all their employees out to conferences, and that sounds either really fun way of having them network and get CPE, or like you really wanted to get Steve out of the office for a couple of days. If you're connected with conference organizers, I'd love to talk to you about working with me to showcase your conference through point of view video content of what it's like to attend your conference. Fly me out. There must be a summer conference going on. Ted Callahan, a leader at Intuit, made a poll about what's most important to people when they attend Intuit Connect. The number one thing by a long shot was networking. It took 75% of the vote. I voted for that as well. If all I did at a conference was make new friends and hang out with people who do the same thing as me, that sounds like a success. And that's really all I care about when I go to some conferences. I think every conference should have an element of networking time. If you've never been to a conference, I highly recommend you do. And try not to go alone. Find a buddy to share a hotel room to save on costs, and then go out and meet new people. If you also go to a conference for the first time and see me, yell at me so you can get my attention and I can meet you. Thank you so much for watching, and happy conferencing. Tell me what your favorite conference has been so far. Cheers.